Taking the Viewpoint Museum away from True Sons will make it a lot harder for them to coordinate their troops and spread misinformation. All communications coming in and out of the building will be controlled from the production studio on the top floor, so you'll need to find it and secure it.
You're dead meat!
An agent needs assistance. System reactivated.
Fuck you!
You are watching Random Plays. This is Radio Gamer, back on track, loud and clear. We've got another one-of-a-kind build. I'm not sure if you've already thought of making a build just like this. This would be a 6 skill tier build, and you can decide the combination of skills to use. But the main essence is to run as a medic for our team with as good as unlimited armor kits, and not just for you, but for the whole team. Yes, you heard it right, armor kits for your squad. Another bonus thing is gaining overcharge as we use these armor kits. Any ideas yet on how shall we do this? Well, just to get the hang of it, let's get started. being on a 6 skill tier build wherein you'll be using all of your skills all of the time, and also you'll be wanting to use them as frequently as possible. Now you can have this from the survivalist, the crunch time talent, wherein you'll be gaining 10% skill haste while in cover. Now if you'll be stacking up your status effects and you'll be equipping your status effect skills, this survivalist tactical link will be helpful as well because group members get 10% bonus damage to targets with status effects. Now if you want to have another healing skill, you can have this Mender Mine wherein it seeks to follow your allies repairing their armor. And last and foremost would be the distributed repair. This one is a requirement for this medic overcharge build because our aim is to heal the armor not only for ourselves but for the whole team. Moreover, armor kits now repair 5 seconds instead of instantly, but also apply to group members within 20 meters. Alright, so aside from the first requirement wherein we'll be wanting to equip the survivalist specialization, the second requirement will be this Backfire Submachine Gun Exotic. Well, this is just new from TU11 and I'm sure that we will all have this as long as you level up. So right now I do have 79.7 thousand damage. This is for 15% SMG damage, 18.5 crit hit chance, and 11.5 magazine size. Now the one that we want to have is this talent called Payment in Kind, wherein dealing damage to enemies adds a stack of 1% crit hit damage and it stacks up to 200 times. On your reload, it applies a 10-second bleed to yourself, which deals 0.5% armor damage per stack. And we will be totally needing this because, as you may know, you can't use any armor kits if you have a full armor. Now the next weapon that we will be equipping is this Rifle Classic M1A. Well, it doesn't really matter what kind of weapon you'll be using for your secondary. The only thing that you'll be needing is this talent called Perpetration, because once again I'll be stacking up the status effects. And having that said, Headshot grants 50% status effect damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. Cooldown is for 20 seconds. So the next thing would be our gears. So as you can see, I have this Valmask Exotic. For the mask, well, you don't have to equip this. I've only stick to this one since I'll be stacking up with the status effects. So let's now go with the brand sets. First, with the backpack, I do have the Murakami, and it will be giving me 20% skill duration. For the chest, I do have here the Bellstone Armory, and it will be giving me 1% armor regeneration. And for the gloves, I do have here the Firm Handshake because once again, I'll be stacking the status effects, and this will be giving me the Sockle of Concern for 10% SMG damage. For the holster, I do have here the Golden Gear, and from this one, I'll be gaining 10% status effects. And lastly, for the knee pads, I do have here the Hana U, which will be giving me 10% skill haste. So let's now have the discussion gear per gear. And first, with the mask, this is a Valmask Exotic, and I do have here 8.3 status effects, 10% hazard protection, and the talent that I have here for this exotic is Toxic Delivery. Status effects also apply a debuff damage for 10 seconds. Total damage dealt is equal to 50% of your concussion grenade and increased by your status effect attributes. Next thing would be the gloves. This is a Firm Handshake named item. It is from Sockle of Concern, and luckily I got another yellow attribute here for skill haste, thus I have rolled this for a skill tier. Now for the knee pads, I do have here by default 12% at max, thus I have rolled this for 9.9% status effects. And then for our holster, I have chosen the Golden Gear, and I have got this for 9.4 status effects by default, and I have rolled it for 1 skill tier. Okay, so let's now go with the main highlight of our build. Let's now go first with the chest. Right now, I do have here the Bellstone Armory, which is a named item called Everyday Carrier. This will be the third requirement for our Medic Overcharge build, and the one that I have here is for 8.1 skill damage and 9.8 explosive resistance. Thus, I have rerolled it for another skill tier. And this talent is the one that we want to have. It is called Perfectly Efficient. Using an armor kit has a 75% chance not to consume the armor kit. Specialization armor kit bonuses are increased by 100%. So this is the main reason why we won't be depleting any of our armor kits, but still, there is a 25% chance that we will be losing some, but 75% chance is actually quite high. Now as we go for the backpack, I'll be having the Murakami for a max of 10% skill damage and 11.1% skill haste. Thus, I have rerolled this for another talent called Energize, wherein using an armor kit grants +1 skill tier for 15 seconds. So if you are in skill tier 6, you'll be granted of an Overcharge and it cools down for 60 seconds. Thus, this will be our fourth requirement for the Medic Overcharge build. Now for the gears, I have chosen all of these gear pieces to be in skill haste. For the mask, I do have 12% skill haste. For the chest, I do have 11.9 skill haste. And for the backpack, I do have here 11.8 skill haste. And browsing through our skills, the first one that I have chosen is this chem launcher called Riot Foam. It fires a payload of sticky foam that immobilizes the targets. Thus, this applies Ensnare status effect, and I do have here 8 ammo, 15.8 seconds ammo cooldown. So just a sneak peek from our stats, I do have here 90% skill haste, 8 ammo, 15.8 ammo cooldown, and for the Ensnare duration status effect, which is for 14.7 seconds. So the next skill that I have chosen is this Shock Trap, wherein it scatters a minefield of small devices capable of shocking targets moving in their proximity. Thus, this will be applying a status effect, shock status effect rather, and for the cooldown, we have 31.6 seconds and 16 traps. So just a sneak peek again for the stats, 90% skill haste, 31.6 seconds cooldown, 16 traps, and the shock duration is for 7.3 seconds. So once again, you are not limited in choosing between these two skills. You have the freedom to do so in having your own combinations for your skills according to your playstyle. The main essence of this build is only going with this perfectly efficient chest part over here, in which you won't be losing any of your armor kits because of the 75% chance. And as you equip this together with the survivalist specialization, for sure you'll be healing your teammates in no time. Next thing we'll be having is this Energize talent from the backpack, in which it will be granting you the Overcharge, and this is a perfect fit as well because as you use the armor kit, you'll be having the Overcharge as well. Now lastly, as usual, I'll be showing you the preview of our stats. And by special request, we will be making a shout out for our fellow agents, namely Joshua Getalia, Ava Marie Junea Leonor, Aldous Maru Leron, Karim Rigor, and Joven Alerga Jr. Thank you for your continuous support. That's it for the video. If you like it, please give a thumbs up, and please do subscribe to my channel. I will really appreciate it for more upcoming Division 2 videos. Once again, you are watching Random Plays. This is Radio Gamer. Over and out.